Last time on Square Roots, Sora cuts loose in the land of Corona after Rapunzel lets down her hair. Later, he fails to put aside childish things and spends a few hours playing with toys. Well, I suppose it's better than fiddling with your Keyblade all day.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hello, friends.
John, Olaf, Brandon.
Is that a flattering comparison to be the snowman?
Are the comparisons supposed to be flattering?
I don't know. Olaf's the snowman, right?
Yeah. No, he's not good. And Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
The height's right, though.
And I can take myself apart into three pieces and then reassemble
Yes.
hilariously.
We're often pulling your nose out of Vanessa's mouth.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Wow.
I
Well,
don't think either of us would enjoy that.
Not
Don't
into
you.
nose
Don't.
play.
don't knock it till you try it.
No, thank you.
Don't knock it till
Anyways.
you nose it.
Anyways, this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time.
Is
And we're
Kingdom
playing
Hearts
Kingdom
3
Hearts
a classic
3.
RPG?
Yes. Because I said so.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'll buy it. I did buy it. I had to
Yeah.
buy it so we could play it.
It
Yeah,
was
we
in
had to buy
development-
it.
It was in development long enough that it counts as being over 10 years old.
That's true. You know, I can't argue with that logic.
Well, guys, now that we've gotten all the intro stuff out of the way, is there any hot gaming news this week?
No. There was
There's
no
one
hot
thing.
gaming news.
There's one thing.
not.
One
not
thing.
even one single thing.
There's one thing,
There's
and
nothing.
it's that God of War Ragnarok finally got a release date, and it's pretty soon. It's November 9th.
That's not pretty soon.
Yeah, it is. It's this year.
I said it
That's true.
before, and I'll say it again. God of Snore.
Whoa.
Got it. Yeah. Take that.
I like that game more than I thought I would. That's for sure.
I've never played one of them. I'm sure they're fine.
The PlayStation ones are pretty annoying. Or not the PlayStation ones, the original trilogy is pretty annoying.
Yeah, that style of gameplay was not great at the time, and I think, personally, I thought, and does not hold
Yeah.
up.
I think they're well-made games, and I think they're well-directed, but, like, all the, like, super angry Kratos is just really annoying.
Well, and all of the hot, sexy,
Yeah, it
Stuff
was real
and-
edgy, yeah.
all the
Oh,
edgelord
yeah. Isn't
crap.
that one of those series where, like, everyone wants to sleep with him and they're naked all the time, like
Yeah,
Witcher?
like Witcher, yeah.
Yeah.
Every god wants to bang Kratos. Kratos?
Kratos.
Kornos.
John, why do you have that look on your face?
Oh, it's just reading about Yuji Naka being a dweeb. He's like the Nights Before Dreams guy and Balan Underworld, and I guess Sonic too, if you like that game. He's the Sonic guy. And he's just like been having a Twitter breakdown lately. There was that whole court case against him. He got removed from Balan Wonderland in the end because he was apparently disrupting development and like bullying people on staff and stuff. And now
Like you do.
Yeah, he doesn't sound super cool.
There have been a lot of Twitter breakdowns recently. Many of them centered around Elliot Page.
Oh, wow.
For reasons we
Was
don't understand.
David Cage again?
No, it was Peterson. He got banned from Twitter because he
Oh, really? Good.
wouldn't
Fuck that guy.
misgender Elliot Page. He's like, I'd rather die. I think he literally said that.
Good. I saw a thing, and I wasn't sure if it was old or new or what the context was, but I did see a short clip of Jordan Peterson saying, "Try to
Up
cancel
yours,
me."
woke moralists.
Yes.
Well, see who cancels who.
I've just seen that used in a bunch of memes, and I didn't know who that guy was.
That's who that guy is.
You should know he's also a son of Canada.
If you're talking like a real life Wicked Witch of the West in person, and like in the real world, you should take a step back and think about your positions. And
Up yours, woke moralists. That's so funny.
we'll see who cancels who.
What I love about it is that Elliot Page hasn't done anything. Like, it's not as if they had a Twitter fight or anything. It's like all of these people are getting banned just for, like, they can't handle the fact that he exists. Their heads are imploding.
Speaking of Elliot Page existing, Jim and I were talking about doing Beyond Two Souls for the bonus this month.
Yeah, I still think we already played that for the show.
No.
I definitely played it, and why would I have done that if not for this?
I
Because you love
don't
David
know.
Cage games.
How can we answer that question?
Wasn't it on a PS Plus or something? And you downloaded
was
it, play
it?
it? Yeah, I think you got
That
it for
would
free.
explain it.
And you were like, well, it's here. I might as well eat it. You know, that kind of theory.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've played it too, haven't you, Johnny? 'Cause
Yeah, I
talked-
paid like full price for that game.
Oh, no.
I did too, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
When it came out, I was like, ooh, a new David Cage game. Gotta play it on the
I
day
did the
of
same
release.
thing with Heavy Rain.
Yep, I
Got
need
to play it.
Well, if that's how you guys are going and want to have a double Cage,
So, wait, are we announcing that as the bonus, or are we just talking about
We're
it?
announcing that we're talking about it. It's like when Vanity Fair is like, or Variety is like, so-and-so's in discussion to play.
Beyond Two Souls, that is the next bonus.
oh boy.
Whoa, that's part of my sweet PS Plus subscription.
Well, you woke moralists might not like it, but you can't.
That's
you're
what
gonna
we're going
fight
to play.
me.
Let's all sharpen our Jordan Peterson impressions.
So he does sound like a Power Rangers villain. Is that how he's?
So
I
is it sort of like this, Power Rangers?
No. That's Danhausen. You're messing it up.
I'm upset because I saw that indie movie, Juno, and I wanted to sleep with Juno, and now what am I supposed to do? I'm so confused, and my penis is sad.
That's my impression of David Cage. You know that's what it all comes down to. It's so gross.
Wait, David Cage now? What did he do?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I confused David Cage with Jordan Peterson.
Oh.
David Cage definitely did some
He
shit,
is.
though.
He is a French.
Yeah.
Basically a French Jordan Peterson. It's true. Well, you know what? You know what? He. I'm just gonna dig myself into a hole. If I even try anything, I don't think he's worth defending. Is what I'll say.
No, well, we know the controversy with Beyond Two Souls is that they.
Oh, didn't he render Elliot Page's naked body without his permission?
Yes,
Yeah, after-
and they promised
after
not to
promising
do that.
That they wouldn't do it.
Yikes.
It's fucked up.
David Cage.
Can't wait to talk about it more at the end of this month.
Oh
Good
boy.
times.
Okay. So that's hot gaming news. Was there anything else? There's Yuji Naka. There's Portals out on Switch, Portal 1 and 2, and apparently it's a really good port, so enjoy that.
Portal. It's a really
Dull.
good portal.
I just saw an article saying that today's Game Pass game is the worst game ever made.
Oh,
I don't know which game it is. Match
That seems
Point
like key
Tennis
information.
Championships.
man, I want that to be the bonus. Can we play
Oh.
Match Point and Tennis Championships?
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we got. I guess we'll have to go into
Yeah.
level ups a little early.
Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
How did you level up, John?
Well, you know what? I've still been going through all my PC games and playing them on my new PC, and that's been a lot of fun. I played some Destiny 2 on there with Julio last night. That was a good time. Destiny 2, way too complicated. Like, especially if you just want to get in and, like, play it. Now there's, like, I don't know how to go what story is and what all these other icons mean, and there's 80,000 icons, and it's like, you should buy the season pass. And I'm like, I don't want to buy a season pass. So I was playing that. I played some, what's that game called? Played some more Cyberpunk. I accidentally got into a heterosexual sex scene. I don't want to say I was disgusted by it, but it was very long. And you know, whatever you straight people want to do is fine with me, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, I thought that, like, the kissy lips meant I was just being, like, a little jokey flirty to end the mission, but then, like, things happened. There was
who was it?
Tanks,
What character was it?
Pan Am in her tank.
Oh, that's who I boned to.
Did you have the tank sex with Pan Am?
I did have the tank sex.
It was very weird. I think because I have genitals turned off too. It was like he was a never nude, like in Arrested Development. So, and it still won't let me flirt with all the big beefy bouncer boys in that. And you know, that's kind of a shame. I've been told I should play the new WWE game because you can make the beefiest boy wrestlers, and apparently that's pretty fun. But those games get such bad reviews that I don't.
The last one I bought for my son, and it was so broken that it was unplayable, and they've never fixed it. It was just a broken game.
Oh, well, I'm not going to buy it. What about you, Matthew? Wait, did I watch anything? Oh, I watched another episode of Ms. Marvel. That show's fun. I think that show has a really nice blend of, like, family comedy and Marvel stuff. And it's not every, like, premium genre TV show, like, starts out with, like, a Moody's 15-minute shot of someone, like, in pain and getting damage done to their body and screaming or being, like, depressed about death. And it's like, this is the opposite of that, and that's what I'm for. I don't want to watch Picard getting his teeth ripped out or whatever. Or who plays Poe? Oscar Isaac injuring himself. I had to stop both of those shows because I was like, this is too dark. I want to watch something fun. So
Moon Knight? Are you talking about Moon Knight?
Yeah, that first shot of Moon Knight. I couldn't make it past the first shot. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Bye now.
I think that Miss Marvel, like, it's great. It does suffer a little bit from this, like, weird, like, all of these Disney shows have been getting, like, worse and worse in small ways. Miss Marvel doesn't have much of a problem, but, like, it's a weird thing I've been noticing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, they just don't seem to, like, things don't always seem to, like, add up or work out. It's hard to describe.
You're like, a woman having superpowers?
Not at all. But Miss Marvel does a little bit of it, too, where people just kind of, like, show up somewhere, and you're like, wait, what? It's like that scene in Kenobi that everybody complained about, where he, like, walks off camera, he, like, runs off camera, and then he runs back in from the same direction, and I think it's supposed to be a different spot, but they're in sand dunes, so it all looks the same, and it literally just looked like he fucking walked off camera and then walked back on. It was so badly put together, and I don't even have, like, the language to describe it. Like, it's just bad fucking filmmaking. Like, somebody's just dropped the ball somewhere. But I'm starting to notice. I noticed it a bit in Moon Knight, and I've noticed a little bit here.
Well,
John, is that considered continuity? If somebody, like, enters a frame in the same direction? That's more of an
editing issue, I would say.
Okay.
And I think the big problem is, and I have not worked on any Marvel shows, this is not from personal experience, is that the collaborative nature of putting out shows right now is super disrupted by COVID. Like, the MPAA has super strict standards on who can be in what room, so you don't have 20 people watching the show together in a theater and kind of bouncing ideas of, you know, hey, this cut doesn't work, that cut doesn't work. So you kind of have, it's very isolated and less collaborative right now, just because of the way that MPAA works.
Anyway.
So I do
Thanks a
think
lot,
that
the
newest
it makes
the
shows
newest episode
weird.
The newest episode of Miss Marvel does have a very quick but one of the worst CGI shots I've seen on television in recent memory. I don't know, that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was pretty. It's nothing like big that'll make you go like, oh, but
It's
definitely
not like
was
that
like,
Supergirl
wow.
scene that I sent us all
Yeah.
a couple of years
that
ago.
was funny.
I also listened to a podcast and they're saying that you wouldn't understand WandaVision unless you watched all of What If, but I didn't watch any of that, and I understood the movie.
That doesn't make sense at all.
I know.
Why
No,
would you
it
not
doesn't.
What if came out several months afterwards too?
Or not
Maybe
Wanda,
they
sorry.
meant you wouldn't-
No,
yeah.
Doctor Strange. They wouldn't understand
Yeah.
Doctor Strange if you didn't watch What If, but I didn't miss anything.
No,
Yeah.
they were wrong. Like some of that, I think that one or two of the Doctor Stranges that were in that movie were also maybe in What If, but like none of
Yeah,
that is
it
brought up in
expands.
any way.
Yeah.
That feels
It,
like Kingdom
expands
Hearts.
on the story, but it doesn't. It's not essential.
You know, it's
No,
like
was
not
not
knowing
essential
who
in any way, shape, or
Aqua and Razor and Tomax are, and but you know,
Yeah.
it's like like Kingdom Hearts. If Kingdom Hearts has faith in me that I can figure these things out by context clues, and that's why it's better than the Marvel universe. Anyway, Matt. So back to your level up.
I do think that you would have had to have watched WandaVision to understand Doctor Strange, right? Like,
Yes,
that movie doesn't
yeah.
make sense without it. Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I
little
mean,
weird.
I think you could figure it out. Like they sort of spell it out.
Yeah.
You might not understand the full context of it. Yeah.
Cut around that maybe. We'll see. Anyway, my level up was going to be that I watched a show on Netflix called Orbital Children.
What? Never heard of it.
Is that an
Yeah, it's
anime?
an anime.
Oh.
You know, that's how I've been feeling about anime lately, for the most part. Other than I've been watching some like old classic anime, I watched a bit of the classic, the anime that Voltron was based on. It was very fun and silly. Anyway, Orbital Children is a Netflix anime. It's only 6 episodes, and it's not the type of thing that's set up for a sequel. It's just a short little movie, basically. And it was fantastic. I really liked it, and I think everybody should check it out. It's great. It's about a group of kids that are in a space station as the space station starts to break down.
Oh no.
And it ties into some events involving a sentient AI from, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that.
It's not because Jason flew a ship into it.
Nope, it's not because of Jason. But it's good. It's the type of thing that focuses a lot on
Jim would
these
like
kids
that.
surviving and space suits and that type of thing. You know, it's a very smart anime with kind of a big story, but mostly told through a small lens of just these kids trying to survive this cataclysmic event on this space station that they're on.
That sounds neat.
It was, and it was short. You know, it's like 2
Yeah.
hours. It's fantastic. So I recommend that. I don't know why you released that as a 6-episode show and not a movie. But anyway, that's how I leveled up. What about you, Vanessa?
Well, regular listeners will remember a time a while ago when Johnny was being bedeviled by a mysterious ice cream truck that would visit, usually when we were recording, and park in his driveway playing its little ice cream song.
That's right.
It didn't park in his driveway, did it?
No, it was
did.
across the
It
street.
drove up to his house and played the music as close to his window as possible.
Played
Yeah.
threatening music.
So last night I was sitting alone in my living room watching British comedians play games, which is the only thing I ever watch on TV, and I started to hear this sort of, I don't know how to describe it, like a tinkling, maybe you would call it, like a tinkle sort of noise, and I thought naturally that it was part of the show that I was watching, but then it seemed to get louder and more persistent, and so as I was sitting there,
What's happening?
What's
I
happening?
paused the show, and I realized that
Vanessa.
directly outside my house there was this ice
Why
cream
does Vanessa's
truck.
screen keep
It
cutting
had
out?
Oh, I
Parked.
don't know. Vanessa,
in
I think they're
front
there
of my
again.
home.
They're back.
No, Johnny, I'm telling the story about what happened last night.
Oh.
So it was right outside my house, and it was pitch black outside, like dark at night. It was so loud that my cat ran to the window to look out, see what was happening, and it was just there. It was just there playing its song in the night, and so I of course opened the door because I thought perhaps someone had sent me an ice cream gram, but as I opened the door it was already driving away. So Matter Jim, you should be next for this ice cream truck.
Can't wait.
Look forward to that.
I mean, I have an ice cream truck that drives through my neighborhood sometimes, but
Yeah, me too. There's one that drives to my apartment parking lot.
they don't.
Now see, this is
threaten
the
me.
thing. I don't get ice cream trucks on this street.
Why?
Now
I
you
don't
do.
know why. But in the night?
In the night.
Well, that's how I leveled up.
Maybe they just live near you and we're trying to find their home.
Maybe they were trying to find a home inside my cold dead corpse.
Okay. Well, that's how Vanessa leveled up. Haunted by Ghost Ice Cream Truck.
Everyone's done now, and it's time for the quest
Nope.
log.
Everyone's not done.
I haven't
Let me
leveled up yet.
see. I heard from Matt. I heard from Johnny. I heard from me.
I don't know. Jim ignored my great Jason X reference before. I'm still kind of upset about
So
that.
perhaps his punishment should be that he doesn't get to level up. Jim, how did you level up?
I have been playing Ghost of Tsushima on my PS5. And it's great. It's a fantastic game. Like it very much.
What kind of game is it? A sneaky game?
There's it's like a third-person adventure game, so there's like some platforming that's kind of Uncharted-y, and there's like some sneaking and assassinating, and there's like some shooting bow, and there's doing
rootin'
some
tootin',
like samurai
some
fights
hootin',
and
some hollering.
some horseback riding. There's a really cool parrying system that I like a lot. It's a fun game.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
What year is it set in?
1274, I believe.
Samurai game. Do you send a fax?
Do you send a fax in the game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Wasn't there there was a meme going around recently that claimed that the end of the samurai era was like after fax machines were invented. So technically a samurai could have sent a fax. It's not a Mad original, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to take credit for that probably not true story.
Yeah. And then I also watched the entire first season of Only Murders in the Building. And
Oh, yeah.
I liked it very much.
Very
You
good.
just
Season
started
2's
that
good.
like yesterday or something, right? It was.
I
Yeah.
watched it. I watched the whole thing over the weekend. This past weekend. It's good stuff. And I watched like the first episode and a half of the second season.
I just caught up on the new episode before we started recording, and it is delightful. Good episodes.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board with that show because that's a good show.
Super good show. I laughed my ass off the final episode of the first season when Steve Martin, spoiler alert, got poisoned. And he was like flopping around, and then they had to cart him around in the dog stroller. That was really funny.
But that's awful. What are you going to do now that you don't have an ass?
I'm not going to acknowledge that joke.
Please don't.
Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3.
John's booing in his mind. I can see from his face.
He's just giving a thumbs down and shaking his head. He looks actually more disappointed than angry, which is even worse.
Okay, guys. So we finished the toy box. Up
Hey,
yours,
YouTubers.
Moralists.
We'll see who cancels who.
Oh man. Okay, so we leave the toy box world and we get a cutscene with like a bunch of guys standing on pillars in like a dirt world.
A desert,
And-
I believe it's called.
A
Jen.
desert, yeah, not a dirt world.
Wow.
And so we get a scene between Sayx and a hooded figure. And Sayx says that he's wondering why this other guy came back to the organization after he got a chance to be human again. And this guy says all he cares about is research, and he's researching the replicas and how they can eventually replace people. And then he says that his name is Vexen, and the scene ends. I don't understand it either.
I just
Fat
assumed
cat.
that Vexen was supposed to be someone who we knew from
Yeah, we know who
our
Vexen
deep
is.
lore
Yeah, they're
dive
talking about
and-
Evan. Isn't
Evan.
Evan? Yeah, isn't Vexen Evan's heartless?
Vexen is a nobody.
Oh, nobody. Sorry, I was trying. Jim, I
It
was
would
really
have to be
trying.
Evan, though, wouldn't it?
And they've talked about Evan before because they said they couldn't find Evan or something.
Well, we
Yeah,
found him.
so Vexen is the one in Kingdom Hearts 2 that Axel beats up.
Okay.
If you remember that.
Do I have
No.
it memorized? I don't have it memorized.
I mean, if your question is, did I play Kingdom Hearts 2? Pay attention, record a podcast about it where we went through every beat of the story. Yes. If you're asking, do I remember this happening? No.
Well, let's go to Monstropolis, shall we? I would contend that both of the worlds in this chunker are kind of boring.
Monstropolis, for sure.
Both of them have, I would say, level design issues that are inherent. Well, especially Monstropolis, it's very bad dungeon from Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I think is a good game, but had bad dungeons. And Monstropolis had that very repetitive, samey industrial corridor thing that Final Fantasy VII Remake really leaned on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all see Monsters Inc. in theaters?
No.
Have you seen Monsters Inc.?
Yes.
Yes.
And I assume Matt has too. I don't know if he saw it in theaters. I feel like this was like during my first boyfriend. Like, what year did Monsters Inc. come out? 2001? 2000?
Ooh.
No, later than that, surely.
I don't know. I remember seeing it with my boyfriend.
2001.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, Jim was tossing a cat again. Yeah, so this was a first boyfriend movie. So that's sort of how you think of your life in eras, and I think of my grown-up life in terms of boyfriends and cities I've lived in and things like that. But I thought this movie was pretty fun. I liked Sully because he was big and John Goodman-y and sweet and gentle.
Yeah, movie stars John Goodman and who's that other guy?
Billy
Crystal.
Billy
Crystal.
Crystal. I have seen Monsters Inc. I don't remember if I saw it in theaters either, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan. It's just, I don't love it. I've never understood.
I mean, I didn't know whether
never
or not
understood.
I liked it before I saw it, so I couldn't say I was a fan. I just went
What?
to go see it.
Right.
Yeah. It
I
was
just never
fun.
liked it that much.
I
And
think
this
it's okay,
level was boring
and
as
I
fuck.
like Boo.
Yeah, I like
Boo is annoying.
And I like Boo calling Sully Kitty. I like her saying Mike Wachowski all the time.
Mike
That was
Wazowski. Yeah.
Wazowski. That's really fun. I vaguely
Got
remember
a real child to record her lines.
like the one like they went back and found her as an adult and made her re-record her lines.
No, like when they made the movie, they got a child and
Oh.
just put it in the recording studio.
Because I think that would be funny if they
It's like-
found like the 22-year-old woman and have her re-record those lines.
Let's talk about how amazing the look is for Monsters Inc., though. This is the one good thing. Everybody looks great. Sora's a fuzzy, gray monster man, werewolf-looking monster. Yeah, kind of a kitty. Donald is Cyclops, like Mike Wazowski, with little bat wings.
And
Goofy's like a tall, weird-looking monster.
yeah, like his
I don't know.
different colored eyes. I thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I'd say I liked the story stuff fine. I mean, it was Kingdom Heartsy, but I thought the level design was That would be my criticism of this. I thought it was
Nothing
samey
really.
corridors.
Why this
Happens.
This level has Unversed, which is new.
Yeah,
I don't
those
remember
are-
these from 1 or 2. What the fuck are
They're
these?
they're the birth by sleep enemies. So when we get there, we run into Mike and Sully and Boo, and then the Unversed show up. And after we fight them, Goofy explains that King Mickey told them about the Unversed from when he did all the birth by sleep stuff in Birth by Sleep, and that they're born from like a negative emotions.
Oh, and that does. I actually liked how thematically that kind of tied into this world. I thought that was a clever piece of writing. I also remember that chameleon guy. That's one of the vague memories
Randall.
I have of seeing this film as a young adult. And before I got to Monstropolis, I went back and unlocked all the treasure globes I could in the gummy ship areas.
Uh-huh.
And I also bought some new specs so that I could have a better ship. And that helped out
Cool.
a lot.
Do you have a teeny ship now?
I have 2 teeny ships now.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
if you unlock all those treasure globes, you get like fluorite and I forgot what the other thing is that upgrades your key blades.
Damascus or something
Yeah,
like that?
Damascus.
Oh,
yeah, so
yeah.
I've been using all those, and my key blades are super powered now.
Yeah,
What's your guys' favorite Keyblade so far?
Ooh, ever after.
I never equipped the frozen Keyblade. Dang.
That's my favorite. It can give you ice claws, so you can be like an ice Wolverine.
Oh, cool.
And then it has a second level up where you get ice claws and ice claw feet, and you just like claw, 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 claw with your ice claws.
When
I
you
like
get
the Monsters Inc. one a lot too. It's
Me too.
It's a
That
blast.
one's good.
Agile claws.
Yep.
And drill
Turns into, like,
punch is
yo-yos
fucking
and-
no drill punches.
Oh,
Yo-yos.
the twin
that's it.
yo-yos are so cool.
Yeah, they're fucking crazy.
But the ever after one like blasts magic and like a 360-degree spin around you. And I like that one a lot. And it just like
but I don't think the ever
superpowers.
after one has a second form, which the
Yes,
rest
it
of
does.
them.
It definitely does. And I'm trying to remember what the second form is.
Or the frozen one, you mean?
Oh, no, the ever after one. Well, maybe it just turns
Ever
into
After
a
is
volcano.
Tangled.
The ever after one just turns into the volcano thing at the end, right? That's your second form. That's it. Yeah, it
That's
doesn't
not a
have
second form.
That's just like the
second
finish of.
That's its finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just liked it, but I'm probably gonna switch
No,
to
I like it a
Frozen
lot
one
too,
now.
but I think that the other ones might be more powerful. Anyway, Salamander guy, organization. We have to chase Boo's door for a while, and then the factory gets set on fire.
There's not a
It's
lot
stupid.
plot-wise that really happens in this world. Like we're getting ready to like send Boo home, I guess, and Sora tells Mike and Sully that they're exterminators here to clear out the Unverse. So we go to send Boo home, and Boo's door disappears, and we have to find her door, and it involves a lot of fights and boring rooms.
It is playing through the worst part of a Pixar movie, which is like always the third act where it turns into like an action adventure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would rather go anywhere else in Monsters Inc. world than this factory.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have this
Why is this not
great-
the university? Maybe the movie was not out when this was.
Yeah, or maybe just put it in the city. Like they go to that sushi restaurant in the movie. They have apartments and things. It's like sort
yeah.
of a noirish almost city, or like 40s kind of style. It would be super cool.
But
And
the
have
fact
lots
that
of monster NPCs.
Yeah.
it does, yeah, I agree with you. It does tie in though a bit because the factory used to run on scream power, which was the premise of that movie, and they switched it over to laugh power. But of course, the organization is
Unraveled.
very interested.
Or...
The organization is very interested in this negative energy power.
So who brought the Unraveled there?
We find out at the end of the chunker.
Oh, is it not Randall?
No.
Well, there's a character that brings back Randall and brings the Unverse into the factory. That's who we meet at the
Who is
end
that?
of this world.
Who is it?
That's Vanitas.
Now, Vanitas was in 2, right? I remember Vanitas. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Was Vanitas in 2?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of
Vanitas
someone
is
else.
like the opposite of what's his name, right?
Ventus.
Yeah.
I
So-
think, but he looks like Tron Sora. I think he's shown up before too, Johnny. I'm positive we've seen this guy.
So Vanitas is when Ventus was a kid, he was being trained by Master Xehanort, and Xehanort wanted him to be a darkness guy, and Ventus is like, I don't want to be a darkness guy, so Xehanort like pulled all the darkness out of him, and it became Vanitas, and then Ventus like lost to Vanitas, and his heart went into Sora's heart. And Vanitas is still just a guy that's running around, I guess.
Spoilers for this game, I think.
What? No, it's not a spoiler.
Well, we're just now. Ventus is the one that tells us, or Vanitas is the one that tells us that Ventus is in Sora's heart. This is the first
Yeah.
time Sora learns about this.
Well, I mean, unless you played Birth by Sleep, and then it explains it.
But we
then,
didn't
too.
play Birth by Sleep, so spoilers for this game.
Yeah, well, like in Birth by Sleep, there's this weird little cutscene or like text scroll where it explains that Ventus is his heart is connected to little Sora's when Sora is like a newborn baby.
Vanessa, you're over this lore shit, right? Can we get the locker
Well,
out?
really, it's good that we didn't play these games because we're experiencing this story as Sora is. So,
That's a
like
good
the
point.
protagonist, these things are unfurling for us, and we're like,
I mean, that's
"Whoa,
not really
what?
true
No
because
way."
Sora was the main character of Dream Drop
Yeah, but he
Distance,
forgot
and we
everything.
played
But
that.
he has amnesia.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have. He does not have
does.
amnesia.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He does not.
He does
lost
have
his
amnesia.
powers. He does not have amnesia.
No, he has
Does
a
not
Jim.
have
We got
total
this. We
amnesia.
got his memories back in the
He
last
has-
game.
Sora doesn't have amnesia; just lost his powers, guys.
He can't remember some things. They're very
yeah,
clear about
I
it.
remember that.
Sora
too.
runs
Well,
into
they
people
talk a
all
lot
the
about how
time
he
who are
lost
like,
his memories, but it's
"Oh,
because
you don't remember me, do you?"
But it's because he had lost his memories, but we regained them in the last game.
And Chain of Memories is what happens at
Chain
the
of
end of
Memories is
Chain
when
of
you lose
Memories.
your memories.
You get, but at the end of Chain of Memories, you get put in the egg, and then at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, you get out of the egg after being in there for a year to regain your memories.
But he clearly doesn't have his memories back because he doesn't remember everyone he runs into.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
he just
there's
doesn't.
a lot of
he
fucking
doesn't-
characters in this game. You
Some
can't
of this
remember
stuff is
everybody.
like when he was. Some of this stuff is like the digital version of Sora did it. It's not that he doesn't. It's not that he lost his memories. It's that it wasn't him.
Oh.
Well, then we're experiencing it as he is experiencing it because we're not digital.
Yeah, except for the parts that we didn't experience through Sora's eyes in Dream Drop Distance. The whole test for the Keyblade Master.
Oh yeah, you know, I do have a positive thing to say about Monstropolis. Is that I thought the parts where everything was on fire around you looked really cool.
The monsters look great. Got to give him that. Monsters Inc. monsters looked great.
Yeah. I did like fighting the Unverse too. I thought that
Yeah.
was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
Give us more fun though. Like also all those doors. How cool would it have been if you like pop through a door and then you're just in like I don't know Australia. You know.
Well, there is a lot of I was a little confused here because these doors lead to the real world. So now is Sora this close to actually stepping through into Tokyo with lightning? You know, isn't that what happened in Lightning in Returns? Didn't it end with her waking up in
Yeah,
Tokyo?
she goes to Tokyo.
Well,
Real
isn't that
Tokyo.
what happened in the new Kingdom Hearts teaser? Doesn't it show like Sora with normal shoes waking up in like Tokyo?
No, but that is World Ends With You world. That's not Tokyo. It's not the real world.
Doesn't that game take place in one of the Tokyo districts?
Yeah, it
does.
does. That's a good point. So is it the real world that Monsters Inc. connects to?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or is it just fantasy?
Stay tuned for Kingdom Hearts 4 to find out.
All right.
Caught in a landslide.
There was. I had just thought of something that we did
Reality.
need to bring up that happened here, but now I don't remember what it was.
It was cool when Sully picked up Vanitas and just tossed him
Fuck
through
yes.
a door, and then that door into another door, and then that
That
door
was
into another
great.
door.
Yeet, 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 and then they take the last door and they stick it in a wood chipper. But so does that mean that Vanitas is now stuck out in the real world with us? Like, do I need to be worried about Vanitas
Yeah,
having
maybe.
a Keyblade?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I
Does
a
he have all his
question.
powers in our real
Are these
world?
doors presumably only? They can't be one way because people come in.
They're not
People
one
come
way.
from
They come
them.
in
They're
and out
not.
of 'em,
But
yeah.
he
Don't
he
they?
broke the other
Don't they
side.
connect to people's closets?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he just walk into somebody else's closet and come back?
Did they throw
he doesn't
throw
have
Vanitas into
laugh
some kid's
power to-
bedroom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Some kid died because of this.
The doors only work if they're powered up by laughs or screams, and they can only be powered on the monster side, not the human side.
I did like the scream canisters that are laying around that you can hit that will shoot around the room.
And giggle at you.
Yeah.
There's a great part where Sully and Mike have to get painted bright pink and blue, and that lasts 2 seconds. And
Why does that
There was
happen?
no reason for it.
Why do they do that?
No
Do
good
it to
fucking
amuse
reason.
Boo to make her laugh.
Yeah, because you have to make her laugh to get through some of the
because
doors.
they need like power or something, right?
They need laugh power to open the door.
Well, that's a fun time.
Yeah.
And so Vanita shows up. He tells us that we have a Ventus in our body.
He
and
gets
that
yeeted
he
the fuck out of there.
wants- Yeah, and then he wants the Ventus, and then he gets yeeted out. And then we get to finally send Boo home. It's very heartwarming.
Boo.
We rebanish Randall. That's fun.
That happened. Yeah, that happened a while ago. Sora locks the door permanently forever.
Yeah.
Randall's fucked.
With his keyblade.
So
Yeah, Randall says when he shows up that he was almost turned into a purse.
Oh yeah, when
Yeah.
he gets thrown into the door, you hear it's the same door because you hear them like, "It's back!" and "Get it!"
they beat
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat him.
They think he's a crocodile.
Makes sense.
That's
But he
a-
gets
So
turned
we-
invisible, so
So we leave Monstropolis, and we get a call from Ienzo, and he says that he found some research from Ansem the Wise about replicas that he's gonna continue to learn more about, and then he also finds a line written by Ansem the Wise that says Sora has 3 unique hearts inside of his heart. Can you guys guess who they are?
Yeah.
Okay, who?
Roxas,
Uh-huh.
Ventus,
Mm-hmm.
and Sora himself.
No, he has 3 besides him.
Oh. Then the last one has got to be
Aqua,
Kyrie?
Terra. No, Kyrie's out in the world.
Who? What's the name of the wizard again? Ansem. Jim,
I
are
think
we right?
Did?
No.
Riku. I mean, this is a guessing game. You're not going to tell us, so let's
Yeah,
we'll
don't
find
tell
out.
us. Let's move on.
Okay.
We'll find out eventually.
Okay, all right.
Come, Guardian.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
we get to meet him
we get a
again.
flashback here. Yeah, we get a flashback here of Aqua and Ansem the Wise at the Darkness Beach. And they're talking about, I don't remember what they're talking about. It doesn't really matter.
It's the beach where they grow old, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then fake Ansem shows up. This part's confusing because like there's some loaded dialogue here, but fake Ansem shows up and is like, "Hey, real Ansem, you remember that girl that we were experimenting on and you saw her memories? I need those memories." And Ansem the Wise refuses to help, and Aqua steps in and says, "You need to leave." And then Come Guardian, our old friend Come Guardian shows up.
Yeah.
So if you guys remember, Come Guardian as part of the final boss fight, the first phase of the final boss in Kingdom Hearts 1, when we
He's
fight
all over that
Ansem.
game. Every time you run into Ansem, he hits you. We fight Ansem like 4 times in that game.
Yeah, but I think it's the final fight where he shouts, "Come, Guardian," and
No.
then
Yeah.
the thing
No,
comes out of his
it's
back.
all throughout the game. Right,
Is it?
Johnny? Back me up.
What?
It's early in the game. When does they're saying that you fight Come Guardian in the final boss fight of Kingdom Hearts, but I said that you fight him several times throughout the game.
No, he's right at the end.
Woohoo! 3-1.
But yeah, Come Guardian shows up, and I don't know, man. What happens here?
They just like talk about how Aqua sucks. And
I don't
her
really know
Keyblade
who-
is broken. And then he's like,
yeah.
check it out, Aqua, and picks her up with the Cum Guardian and throws her into the water.
That's right, and she descends into the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know who Fake Ansem is referring to when he talks about a girl who had her memories repaired? I don't. This part was confusing to me. Who the fuck is he talking about?
I thought he was talking about Nominee.
Nominee is the one who can like mess with people's memories, right?
No, she doesn't mess with their memories. The Tower of Oblivion is what messed with their memories.
But she helps them put back together, right? That's her like special skill.
She put in egg.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
They're eggs?
She puts them in the egg.
Oh.
She's a nobody. She doesn't exist at this point. Like,
Well, then
maybe
who's
they're
he talking
about what about black-haired nobody? Xion.
Shion?
Shusha.
But she's Kyrie's nobody, and Kyrie doesn't exist right now either.
Shion
you're right.
is like isn't Shion Kyrie's like replicas nobody?
Vanessa just yeah. So who is it?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll fucking find out.
I guess we'll fucking find out. That's right. And so we go to at this point we can go to Twilight Town because they say Merlin's there and we need to speak to Merlin.
Oh, God,
And-
don't do that.
Merlin calls us, and he's
don't
like,
go.
Oh, yeah.
hello?
Don't go
I found a
see
book.
Merlin. You'll
I'm gonna
regret
have
it.
some tea."
Because it takes an hour of your life away.
No, I didn't
loved
actually
it.
play it. I saved right inside Winnie the Pooh when I finished playing
Do
earlier.
you guys
today.
want to? You guys want to save that for next chunker?
No, we can talk about it.
You saved
can
inside
talk about
Winnie the
it.
Pooh.
I saved inside Winnie the Pooh.
I mean,
I
there's
was trying to
not
finish it up, but then I
that
didn't.
much to say about it. You go, you find Merlin. He's like, hey, it's the frickin' Poo Book again. There's something wrong with it again.
Yeah.
You're
What's
not
wrong
on
with
the
it?
cover.
Sora's not
Sora
on the
doesn't
cover.
even like. He reacts differently than he has in other games. Almost like he's fucking tired of it.
Yeah. So then Sora goes into the Poo Book, and like Pooh is standing there with Piglet hanging out, being like, "Oh, bother you, think. And Sora's like, "What's up?" And Pooh's like, "Oh, Sora, you're home." And Sora's like, "Oh, you remember me?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course we remember you." Anyway, time
And
to
then
fix some
something
vegetables.
happens that upset Vanessa to her core.
It upset
know why.
me to my core because
Vanessa never saw Pooh's Heffalump movie.
no, look, I'm familiar enough. I'm not like a fan. I'm not a fan. I know Winnie the Pooh. I know Eeyore. I know Rabbit. I know Owl. I know Kenga and
Oh, this is
Little
about
Roo.
to get real. Never change anything, isn't it? How dare they?
And
know?
as expected, all my Pooh friends are there. I even know contemporary characters like Whistly Gopher. Fine.
Is he? He's
So
old.
there's this like Snuffleupagus
It's Heffalump.
there.
Heffalump.
No, look, it's a little boy. It's a little
We get
boy
it, Vanessa.
elephant.
The SJW woke agenda strikes again. Blah,
I
blah,
thought
blah.
Heffalump
Up
was
yours, woke moralists.
Does
That's
Heffalump-
yeah.
I assumed the Heffalump was a girl from her voice.
I would rather die than say Heffalump.
Yeah, and it's like,
Oh, good day, Sora. My name is Little Heffalump. I love tea. Oi, why don't you help me with these vegetables? Hello?
For someone who almost exclusively consumes British media, you're very offended by this British elephant
Voice
character.
is
Why did you
fucking
hate?
terrible.
Why did
The
you
voice
hate
is
the Heffalump?
terrible. I'm going to
It's
get on
awful.
board with the Heffalump.
It's awful.
Actually, yeah, the voice is atrocious and should not be allowed in video games
it sounds
or
awful.
anything.
It looks awful. It is not colored like an animal. Like all of the animals in this world, they have nice.
What are you talking about?
looking-
It's an Eeyore.
It's purple.
Okay,
It's purple.
it's an elephant.
It
Like a
has
stuffed animal.
its ears are too small to be an elephant. It has like
No,
a tuft of stringy
too
hair.
small, Vanessa.
It has a little stumpy trunk, and it jumps around, And it's
Well, it's
like,
an Asian
Vanessa's
elephant, not
body
an
shaming the
African
fuck
elephant.
out
Yeah,
of this elephant.
Sorry that it's the small-eared variety of elephant, and according to you, that's just not an elephant.
yeah. And then Matt was like, oh, it's a heffalump. Heffalumps don't exist. Heffalumps are a fever dream that Pooh had when he had too much hops. And he got like drunk AF off honey or something. I guess mead.
Yeah, he let the
probably
honey
is what
sit a
was
little
happening.
too long, and it
He let
fermented,
the
and
honey
he...
sit a little too long. It fermented into mead. He ate it, and then it was like heffalumps it was us, a heffalump. But it's not.
Isn't that what it
real.
is? Doesn't he eat old honey?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
remember.
so. It sounds
I
right.
don't remember what triggered it, but I do know that a heffalump.
Well, just
is-
because he dreamed about it and it scared him doesn't mean that it didn't have a real-world connection. In fact, it's more likely that his dream was based on something that was real in his world than not.
Don't worry, Vanessa. These woke heffalumps will not cancel you.
I'm trying
We'll
to
see who
mansplain
cancels
heffalumps.
who.
I'm trying to mansplain
Yeah.
heffalumps to Vanessa.
Yeah. No. You know what? I say no. I say you've gone too far. I refuse to acknowledge that a Huffalump is real. It's just a mass delusion that all of these characters are sharing. And I think that by comparing it to an elephant, it's elephant erasure.
Oh, woof.
Yikes. All right, Bette Midler.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
New York Times opinion writer.
I didn't read that article, but I read about it, and like just knowing it exists was enough for me. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
need to read that. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's a bold move to get your start in gay bathhouses and then 40 years later be like, just kidding. I'm not an ally after all. What a prank. Classic Midler.
Can we talk about these Winnie the Pooh minigames?
No, Jim, you
Hoonigan?
cannot. Not until the end of this chunker.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
What else happens here? Nothing really. You
Nothing.
do some,
You help them with their crops and flowers,
Yeah.
and that's
and then
it.
everybody is fine.
In defense of this segment, you don't have to stay and keep doing it. Unless you're recording a podcast about
Yeah,
the
I
Did you
really
do all
felt
three
compelled.
games?
But at least that was the end of the Winnie the Pooh thing. It didn't drag on like in the first
Yeah,
two.
you don't have to go find pages and all that
Yeah,
shit.
I just
really?
I got that Keyblade right away, and I was like, well, not right away, but after
Yeah,
doing the
you
three
do a few mini games,
games,
you get a Keyblade, that's it.
Yeah.
And you learn about how you're always in somebody's heart if you remember them or some shit.
Yeah, but he sounded
Yeah.
like dubious about it. Then he's like, I don't know if that was actually true.
He's like, yeah, I'm just kind of made that up.
Yeah, he didn't seem totally happy with his Winnie the Pooh experience this time.
I don't think Sora. Well, he's older.
He's
now.
too old for it, yeah.
Yeah, he's too old.
So
for
you gotta
it.
do this shit again? I gotta go-
Like every time he goes to visit his friends, they make him do all this labor
Yeah.
bullshit.
Also
Do
a
you
good point.
remember? There's like some episode of I think Star Trek: The Next Generation where there's a little kid in it, and they fire up like a holodeck program for little kids, and one of the adult characters is with her. I don't remember. Let's say it's like Chief O'Brien. And so they fire it up, and the characters come out, and they're like, "Oh, Miles, we haven't seen you for ages." It's exactly like this. It's like he's an adult now, and Miles is just like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys."
I don't remember this one. Is it because I'm thinking about the one where Alexander and
Loxana,
Loxana
right? Yeah.
go to that
Loxana.
that Cirque du Soleil nightmare hologram
Yeah, no,
world.
it's not.
That episode is hard to watch.
That one is, I think, one of the worst. And I love Loxana, and that is a terrible
has great episodes.
episode.
She has great episodes, but the whatever her name is, tries to bang Picard episodes are notoriously terrible.
That's not one of those.
No, it's not. That one's just terrible because it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It also doesn't
Crazy
make,
Cirque du Soleil monsters.
it doesn't make a lot of sense for the kind of future that they're presenting. That's pretty sex positive, but also like very consent focused. You would think at some point he would be like, "Thank you, I'm not interested," and she would just fuck off back to Troy Planet. Empath planet?
Yeah. Betazoid.
Beta planet.
Betazoid.
Betazoid.
Is the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that for some nerd creds? I almost remembered the name of that planet.
Yeah.
So call me a fake fangirl.
Good job. But I don't know this episode you're talking about, and that sounds really interesting.
She made it up.
Oh.
I might have. Listeners, if you know what episode I'm talking about, write in to squarerootspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, so we did Winnie the Pooh. We did Monstropolis. We did Winnie the Pooh.
Does
we head
Disney
to
own Labyrinth?
No.
No, that's Jim Henson.
Yes, but they own the Muppets and Jim Henson Studios. So do they own
That
Labyrinth?
doesn't mean they own the rights to that stuff, though. Like, Netflix snapped up the Dark Crystal, right?
Oh, that's true. So maybe they only bought the Muppets and not all of Jim Henson Productions?
Labyrinth was made
they do
by
own it.
TriStar Pictures. Or
It says
distributed by them.
It says on April 9th, 2013, it was announced that Walt Disney Pictures has acquired Labyrinth through the Lucasfilm acquisition.
Now
You know
now,
what? I think it is on Disney Plus, now that I think about it.
Now that Sora is hitting puberty, we could have a psychosexual Labyrinth planet about sort of him giving up his childish ways and trying to be seduced by a weird David Bowie.
That would be so amazing.
Or
I
Kyrie.
am
You know what?
fully on
It could be
board for that.
Kyrie if you want to be heteronormative about
let
it.
me Sora. You know what? I don't want to be heteronormative about it. David Bowie didn't want to be. Why should I be? I say send Sora to Labyrinth World, give him a freaking poison peach, and let him trip out and imagine David Bowie seducing him.
Ah.
I fucking love that movie.
We all love that movie.
I mean, it was like, I watched it so many times as a child.
I understand that it was
so
your big
sad.
sexual awakening, all right? I just fucking
It's like
liked
over
it.
the top, but for Vanessa.
I just like
Is
puppets
it
and
pure
monsters.
to just like the
Did you
movie,
say over the
or is
top?
it-
No, I don't think it's pure. I'm just saying we had different experiences with it. I'm not trying to gatekeep you, Vanessa. Jeez.
As the pain sweeps through next to
That's really funny, John. That makes me laugh. Was it the guy who arm wrestled Sylvester Stallone and the
Yeah.
big guy
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
you remind me of the babe.
What, babe?
Oh, don't. I don't want
here
to
we
hear
go.
it. Don't do it.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we're going to be singing Let It Go soon, so
Oh,
let's
that's
not
true.
overdo it too soon.
All right, so more.
Aid with the power. What
There
power?
were some more
Love that song.
cutscenes, right? Okay, yeah, there was Aqua, and Dude Face, Leviticus.
Yeah. What?
Dude face.
Leviticus.
Was it Ansem? Who was there at the
It's
beach?
Ansem and fake Ansem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we do that. We go do Winnie the Pooh, and now we have to go to Arendelle. Remember Arendelle?
No,
from
I've never
from
seen.
2011.
14?
When did that movie come out?
I want to say
2011?
2014,
2014?
2013. Vanessa, what
2013?
year did Frozen come out?
I'm gonna guess 2013.
2013 it is.
It is 2013. So I have not seen Frozen. Has everyone else seen Frozen?
Yes.
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 Although after watching this, I feel like I've
many times.
seen most of Frozen.
You haven't.
Yeah, there's some stuff missing there that's.
There was one part where it
You
looked
don't
like
get
a
any trolls,
character.
I guess.
A character
Well, you don't
got
get
like
you don't get Anna's whole opening story with
Yeah.
Gustav
Oh.
or whatever, which is pretty fun. I thought I like that.
Hans?
Hans, yeah, maybe
They mention Hans.
they mention him. He shows up at
Hans
the end.
shows
Yeah.
up a little bit, but not voiced, unfortunately. Although this whole sequence did feature the actual voice actors from the film Frozen.
It did.
oh, like Adina Menzel.
So did
Yeah,
they? Do you
and
think they
Kristen
just?
Bell and Jonathan
Do you think
Goff?
they pulled the Well, I guess some of it can't be, right? So they did have them come in and record this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Josh Gad came back to voice that little
Oh, wow.
that
Josh Gad.
dumb little
That
guy.
Seems like he has so
Olaf?
much other things to be doing.
They might have done it like during the process of filming Frozen 2 or something like that, you know?
Yeah,
know,
there's been some shorts as well. So they clearly have. There's been several shorts on Disney Plus
Right.
and before that on the Disney Channel. So
There was
I
one
think that they've
before.
got
I saw a Pixar movie, and there was a Frozen like short before that. And I don't remember what movie it was. It was it Toy Story 3? I don't know. Anyway, so I was thinking when I was playing this, oh, well, you know how this game's been in development since 2006 or 2007. I was like, this must have been one of those 2006, 2007 developed levels because it seems so PS2-y. And then I was like, wait a minute. This movie came out in 2013, so it's not
So yeah,
that.
they slapped this thing together.
There's
There's a reason that a big chunk of this is an ice labyrinth. Almost none of this actually takes place in like the area of the movie. Like a lot of this is just like you in the forest, you in an ice labyrinth, you on an ice mountain.
This
That's
looks
kinda
like
it.
other than the amazing real-time cutscenes, which look incredible, like are really super impressive. The level design in this looks like a PS2 budget game. It real bad.
And I will say that it's confusing as fuck. Like when you're in like the mountain area and you can go
have
up
to-
and down the
yeah.
mountains. I was like, where the fuck
I
am
got
I?
lost.
Like because the way
Yeah.
that the mini map works doesn't really make sense because when you scale something vertically and run straight up, you're still advancing across the mini map, which that doesn't make any sense to me.
So this world starts off with you running into a woman. She's like huddled up against the cold and running away
She's
from
running
stuff.
across. She's running across the water,
lake.
and it's freezing under her
Yeah, that looked pretty neat. And everyone's like, "Oh, who's that girl? Maybe she's got nobody magic or something. We should go see what her deal is." And then they see her, and she's real sad. And then I
Okay.
think she sings "Let It Go."
feet. Hang on. Not quite
here.
yet, but I want to
okay.
point out that this kind of fucks up. Now, it's not egregious. Like some of the inserting Sora into these stories stuff in the past has been pretty fucking bad. And this one's not, like most of this game actually, is not too bad. It kind of works. But just overall, it kind of undoes the plot of Frozen when the plot of Frozen is Elsa has magic and is scared of that, and then this magic kid shows up with his magic powers and his fucking anthropomorphic animal friends, and he's like, "Oh, you can do ice magic? Yeah, look, Blizzard, Fira, fucking, I can do it too. Who gives a shit?" Like you would think that she would instead of what she does is continues the movie, which is like, "I want to be alone," and she runs away. But I was watching it, I was like, she's gonna be like, "Oh, fuck, can I come with you?" Like,
Yeah.
fuck this place.
Will you teach me how
Teach
to
me.
control my magic?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It would make a lot more sense here. Why, like, she's all isolated, like, no one can understand me. Like, you just met a magic boy and watched fucking crazy
Isolated.
hallucinogenic light shows appear.
You can't mess with that. You can't mess with. I mean, at this point, you can't mess with Frozen. It was like the highest grossing animated film of all time. They're not
Really?
going
How much
to
more
mess with the
interesting would all
Frozen
of this
continuity.
be
Yeah.
If instead of you going in and finishing the movie, you went in and basically just kidnapped the main character and brought them with you. Like, yeah, you're part of my team now, you know? You collected a big party like in a real Final Fantasy game of like
That'd
12
be cool.
people. I got Elsa. I got Hercules. I got Sully the Monster. We're here to fuck you up. Anyway.
So,
Let
Johnny,
it
this was-
go! Let it go!
No, well, that doesn't happen yet.
Oh.
We got it. So at this point, the organization 13 member shows up. Her name's Larkseen.
Ugh.
She's blonde and she has
I
blonde
hated Larkseen.
antennas.
Yeah.
Her hair looks like a heartless head, which is
Yeah.
the stupidest hair.
Yeah. Larkseen shows up and she's like, "Hey, stop messing with Elsa. We're observing her or something to see if she's one of the new 7 hearts."
Mm-hmm.
And then she says that 20 times. The new 7 hearts. New 7 hearts. New 7
Legitimately-
hearts.
At some point, you would think after the first game, and the fall of the first organization, mostly due to Sora's interference, you would think they would now have a rule that was like, don't tell Sora things.
I thought the rule was
But
going to be
nope.
like, you can't have all the hearts on one planet. You have to share them around.
But like she's trying to tell you something because like in order for the organization's plan to work,
You can't have all
they
the
need
fully
to
loaded
have
hearts.
they need to have the 7 like light guys or they need the 7 hearts. They need either one. So she's like, get your shit together, Sora, and find those other Keyblade wielder people, or else we're gonna have to kidnap all these princesses.
I
So
guess
I
it's kind
understand.
of fair of her to warn us and be like, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But you're
And
gonna
then
make this.
she puts us in like an ice labyrinth.
It's dumb. Also, not a good labyrinth. Basically, just one direction that you can travel. Not a lot of dead ends. Not really a maze. Just go forward through the corridors until you reach an elevator, and then you're out.
Sorry, but that's what a labyrinth is. It is distinct from a maze because it only has one path through it.
Wait, really?
Wait. Mazes can have more than one path through them?
Well, turns and twists and things like that.
But that doesn't make sense. Like, why would was it Daedalus that had the ball of string to not lose his way in the Minotaur's labyrinth? Why would he need that if it was one path?
Yeah, they should have called it maze.
And also, don't forget that Labyrinth is help teen Vanessa understand her sexuality.
Yeah, the labyrinth in the movie Labyrinth definitely has multiple branching paths.
No, there's different kinds, but
No,
what you,
you just flat out fucking lied to us.
but what you usually see these days, if like someplace advertises that it has a labyrinth, it's going to be a single path used for like meditation and contemplation.
Well, let me
You've
point
seen
out
these things.
that I have never in my life seen that place advertise having a labyrinth.
Me either.
Not
Lives in
one
Florida.
time.
That would be outlawed by DeSantis.
Churches often have them. To think about God.
Those are like pews.
There,
I
sent
don't
one
think
to the
churches
group
do
chat.
have them.
There's one like a few blocks from my house in a park. It's just like tiles on the ground.
That's a
and
maze.
It's not a maze. Look at it. There's just one path.
Well, that's what a maze just has one correct path, right?
Yes, but this just has one path, period.
I don't know why you're saying this is a labyrinth and only this is a labyrinth, but this, I see that this exists, a one path thing. But that doesn't, you sent us a picture of a thing. This is not a labyrinth.
It
There's
is
a
a
movie
labyrinth.
called Labyrinth about a lady that can't find her way through the labyrinth.
Vanessa's drawing some fucking hard lines tonight.
Yeah, she really has. Apparently it's only a labyrinth if there, so what you are saying is that the movie Labyrinth should be called Maze. That's, I just want to be clear on that. That is Vanessa's hot take of the evening. The movie Labyrinth should be called Maze.
But like the corn.
Corn with a K, so it would be like a new metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be called Maze, MAISE, the corn, KORN, movie, MOOVE.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis doing the soundtrack. David Bowie doing the Labyrinth. Sorry, Maze. Well, anyway, we escaped the labyrinth just in time for
Oh, the big musical number.
they recreate the whole fucking song.
the entire thing, and then there's like random cutaways to Sora being like, "Oh, oh."
It does the full song, and at the end, Sora literally says, "I don't know what we just watched." That made me laugh so hard. But it does the whole thing. She loses her clothes, and she creates the monster, and she poops out Olaf, and she makes the castle, and the song is great. Like, it's a great song. Sorry.
It's very
Love that song.
audacious of them to put the entire song in, I think.
Right. Well, the problem is, like, it's in it. It's the same recording, but it's a worse version because of the visuals.
The animation is not great.
I mean, I disagree with that. It's not a worse version. It's got Sora in it. It's almost a better version. If the original wasn't so good, this would be the superior version. Just adding Sora and Donald. Not just Sora, actually. I really like the idea of Donald and Goofy sitting around and watching her sing Let It Go. Like, what's happening here?
So I'm sorry.
Just
your
weird
position is
voyeurs.
Your position, to reiterate, is that if the original wasn't so good, this would be better.
Yeah, exactly. Adding Sora clearly makes things better, but in this case, it's like putting a hat on a hat. Like, you just can't top it. At best, it can be as good, but it does have that worse animation quality for sure. Actually, my daughter Haley came and watched this with me, and she was laughing about it. She's like, "Well, like that cape doesn't flow like it does in the movie. Yeah, shit's not quite right."
Johnny, this was the first time you had ever heard Let It Go. Is that correct?
That is correct. I heard like people singing the chorus before, but I hadn't actually heard the whole song.
What did you think of it?
Well, I think Vanessa and I have a very similar experience with the song where it reminds both of us of theater friends who want to sing it loudly at or sing songs loudly at us. Like it's delivered in such a theater friend way, and it's so loud, and you know that someone wants to like maintain eye contact with you and just like sing it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And if you have theater friends, they will do that to you.
They will do it.
And you're like, I just want to eat this ramen.
I'm like, look, I love and appreciate what you do when I have paid for a ticket to come and see you do it. And I sit in the dark and you can't see my face. And I can feel however I feel about it instead of having to sit here being like, oh, aha, wow, yeah.
I love being sang at.
I hate being serenaded. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it when you're at a restaurant and some guy comes by with a guitar and he's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
But none of this answers the question.
The song's okay. It's, you know what? I think what's really interesting about the Disney, I don't know if you know this, but in Kingdom Hearts, the version of Let It Go they use isn't actually the movie song. It's instead Luba's song from 1987, Let It Go, the Canadian and European dance hit. And I thought that was a big change. You know?
That's a big choice.
I didn't even notice. But now that you mention it, yeah. And they did cut to Luba on their blimp.
Yes! Yes!
Singing about societal norms.
Exactly. And everyone's wearing very fashionable hats. That's a Luba joke. Vanessa, I'm surprised you got that reference. That's impressive.
I think you tweeted it like 2 days ago, and that's how I got that reference. I can't lie to you, Johnny.
Anyway, at the end of it, she finishes singing her song, and then she blows us down the mountain like an asshole.
Yeah, she's like, let it go, and you go away, goodbye. She blows you down the mountain, and then she sends her giant golem to get you.
Also, this one's interesting in that you do not have a companion from the movie for the majority of this chunker.
That's
Or
true.
this world.
Who is the golem from the movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the golem have the change of heart like in the movie? Or like in the game, in the movie?
He doesn't really have a change of heart. It's the same. He's protecting Elsa. That's his deal.
Oh, okay.
He was created by Elsa to protect Elsa. So.
To make people go away.
Oh.
Yeah. So then we meet the rest
Elsa
of the
can
Frozen
create
cast.
life. Like, that's just straight up true of Elsa.
Yeah.
She is
Yeah.
as a god.
Is
She can make
And-
snow life.
Yeah.
Is she among the most powerful creatures in the Kingdom Hearts universe? along
She's
with
an
Donald
Omega
Duck?
level mutant.
Yeah, she is an Omega level mutant.
Because she
She's
can
Bobby Drake
create
levels.
life, and then we all know
Bobby Drake
Donald.
can't
Drake can't create life.
Donald Duck
Vanessa
can
and I are
use
on
the most
fucking
powerful
point right now.
was it in Kingdom Hearts 2 where Donald Duck uses the most powerful magic in the Final Fantasy series?
Yes, he
Ultima?
does.
Wait.
Ultima.
I thought it was something
No,
above
it's
Ultima.
this one. Isn't it this one that he uses like Giga Flare or
You-
something?
you-
Yeah,
use a
that's
meteor.
what I was thinking of, is Giga Flare.
I think it's the end of this one that he does that.
Is it Giga Flare?
Yeah, Giga Flare.
Giga Flare.
I thought it was 2, like, after Goofy died, and he's like,
Maybe, yes, it was after Goofy died. Is that 2?
I have a ducky trick up my sleeve.
He
Yeah,
does die in
uses
2.
Giga.
According to bleedingcool.com, Donald Duck is the most powerful being in the Final Fantasy universe because he uses Zeta Flare, which is a more powerful variant of
That's right,
Flare.
Zeta Flare.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Flare is a high-level magic spell. Mega Flare is Bahamut's signature ability. Giga Flare is Neo Bahamut's attack. Terra Flare is Bahamut Zero's attack. It's also the attack used by Bahamut to reset the world in, well, that's a spoiler. Petaflare is the final attack in Bahamut Sin used in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Exaflare
And
belongs
it's not
to...
allowed near children. It's not allowed to live near schools.
Oh no! Exaflare belongs to Bahamut Fury, Bahamut Prime, and Midgar Stormer. And Zetaflare has never been used by any enemy in a Final Fantasy game. But it's above Exa, so it's 10 to the 21 power.
There's a cutscene. There's a cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 3 of Donald using Zeta Flare.
I knew
So
it.
he's the most powerful creature in all of Final Fantasy.
Respect
That checks
that
out.
duck.
Yeah.
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 Respect to the
He's a
duck.
black mage.
But
He's a black mage and Goofy's a knight.
Elsa can create life, and that is his own sort of power.
Yeah. She's a god.
And we meet
And this
one
is
of
what
her
she
little
creates.
creations, yeah,
You know what?
which is Olaf.
A new god.
Yeah.
I don't
And
like Olaf.
Behold her son.
Do you guys like Olaf?
No.
More than I should, probably. I like that he likes warm hugs.
But don't they melt him?
Well, that's the thing. Olaf, you would know if you'd seen the movie, dreams of living in the sunshine and receiving and giving warm hugs.
Oh. Oh, that's nice.
The tragedy of Olaf.
I feel like this game just assumes you think he's really hilarious already and don't bother to like give him anything interesting to do.
Yeah, it goes pretty hard on Olaf because you
Yeah.
you run into Olaf, Anna, and Kristoff,
Mhm.
and they're looking for Elsa, and you're like, oh, we can help. And then Kristoff kind of leaves with Olaf. He picks him up and puts him under his arm, which I appreciated. And then Anna tells the sad story of her childhood, and we get a little bit of do you want to build a snowman, but not all of it. It's sort of like, do you want to build a snowman reprise from when the
Yeah.
movie gets sad? And then Kristoff comes back and he's like, Olaf is missing. He came apart. And we spend the next like half hour putting Olaf back together again.
Now I want to talk about that because it's such a change in tone from like, and if you find the 7 secret hearts, you will inextricably bind your souls to the nobody. And then to, can you find the 3 parts of Olaf? There's 1, 2, 3 of them. Very good.
So we find his head and his legs, and then there are like 5 different cutscenes of Sora. You have to run around, find a body part. First, he finds a muddy body part, so he brings like a mud ball back, and
That didn't I
Olaf-
didn't do that.
oh, I did them all. So first you find a mud ball. You bring back the mud ball, and Olaf puts the mud ball on, and he's like, I look like I got a tan. And
He's gonna be canceled.
they're like, yeah. They're like, no, that's not your body. You go get a better one for him. So then I found a long body, and
Somebody
Olaf
give me
was
Somebody give me Olaf as Jordan Peterson. Talking about not being
I don't know his
canceled.
voice well enough.
So then I found long body. It's like a little crooked, so he can't stand up straight. Then I found giant body, and I think I sent a picture of this to the chat because it really looks like somebody's like inflation fan art of Olaf. He has a giant middle section and a teeny little head.
The giant middle section looks pretty funny, actually.
I just got all the correct
get any of
parts. Yeah, this is. I think Vanessa's making this stuff up.
No, you can
I am
find
not
like there's
making it up.
there are different versions of his midsection that you can like rotate in, and it'll show you and be like, that's not quite right.
Yeah. So there I just shared a picture. His middle section is as big, like as tall as 2 Goofies and as wide as 3 Goofies. It's absurdly large. And then the game started to get frustrated with me, and Olaf was like, I think I left my body at this exact place.
That's what
Why
happened
don't
to
you
me,
go
too.
there?" And I'm like, I know where it is. Like, your clues have not been difficult to parse, but I'm having fun putting different bits on you. So you put them back together, and then none of that meant anything.
Nope, not important. This is I think the most frustrating part of this world, where you have to go through all the mountain pathing and stuff, and the way that everything is just gray and white, it's hard to tell what's like something you can actually land on and what the boundaries of the level or of the like room you're in are. It's very confusing. I didn't like it.
I mean, I would say it smacks of being slapped together, you know?
Yeah. Did we mention the sledding section where you get
No, that's fun.
you get thrown down the mountain and you're being chased by an avalanche with Heartless in it, and you have to dodge it. You're on Goofy Shield. Yeah. That was a fun game.
I
Anyway,
didn't care for it, personally.
So we help Olaf find his body. And then Anna and everybody else gets finally to Elsa, and Elsa freezes her heart, and then
Yeah, that okay. So Elsa freezes her heart, and it looks pretty dangerous and climactic. And then like you run into Anna outside with a blonde dude, and she's fine. So I was like, is there a third girl?
Yeah.
Did she injure a third girl? Is there another girl? But what was that out of order, or is she okay after getting her heart frozen?
well, she's okay for a little bit. It's like a slow process. It's like she got poisoned.
That's what they did use the Madonna song "Frozen" about getting your heart frozen here. So at least, you know, even if they didn't get "Let Me Go," they did get.
Let Me Go. Let Me Go is a song by Cake. Let It Go is the song from the Frozen soundtrack.
But they did use the heart. Now your heart's frozen, or whatever. You know, that Madonna song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what happens after this. Like, you run to Kristoff, and he's like, "Oh, I took Anna back to Hans." This is
Yeah,
where they
everything
mention
gets
Hans.
mixed up because you got
Yeah.
separated from Anna
Okay.
Yeah.
at some point.
Is
They see
Kristoff the one who
Hans-
looks like Snow from Final Fantasy 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They see
Voiced
Hans,
by Jonathan Goff. by the
yeah,
way.
dreamy Jonathan Goff, Broadway's
Yeah.
own. So they see Hans hauling off Elsa, and they're like, "Oh, maybe he's helping her," Sora says, and Donald and Goofy, who are adults, are like, "That's not what helping a woman looks like," you know. He's hauling her unconscious body
Yeah.
off over his shoulder. So then you run into Kristoff, and Kristoff's like, "Oh, I sent Anna back to her one true love, Hans," and they're like, "Hans sucks."
Oh, because like he did that because he learned that only an act of true love can thaw a frozen heart.
Yes, so
That's why he
Anna must
gave
return
Anna
to her
back.
true love. And then
Yeah.
Sora's like, "Oh, I thought you guys were boning," and Kristoff's like,
Yeah.
"No."
Yeah.
Then they look down on the village, and there's a big snowstorm over it. So they're like, we have to go down there. And this is where I guess they brought in some developers from Chrono Trigger, and they were like, what's the best part of Chrono Trigger? And they were like, oh, the part where you have to walk against the wind on an icy field. Like, people love it. They won't stop talking about it. You should do that for Kingdom Hearts.
I fucking hate that part.
And that's what we do. We walk against the wind. And you have to like hide behind some rocks when it's blowing wind, and then eventually the big monster golem shows up, and it helps you by
Yeah, you can
standing
walk behind
in front
it,
of
right?
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's also looking for Elsa.
Yeah, this is when it joins your party.
Yeah, he joins the party here. It's great.
I will say that it was a little frustrating having him in the party because with how bad the levels are designed, I felt like sometimes he was in the way a lot.
He's very big.
Yeah, he's huge.
Then we make it to the village, but we don't go there. We just go out to the middle of the frozen
Vanessa.
lake. We don't. And there the climax of Frozen takes place.
Yeah, I
John,
like.
did you understand what was happening here?
Well, there's a bad guy, and I know this just because people have talked about. I think I've seen Lindsay Ellis videos where she talks about how it's deconstructing the Disney Prince idea, and she's like, it didn't need to be deconstructed, and this is a deliberate misunderstanding of what previous Disney movies were about.
Great.
Yeah,
Sounds like a great take.
I like Disney. I like Lindsay Ellis. I mean,
We all
Wait.
like Lindsay Ellis. Even Jim does.
yeah.
Wait, is that the YouTuber I just discovered last week?
Yeah, that's the one who you're like, I discovered this person, and Johnny and I were like, women and gay men have been watching her forever.
Wait, didn't she delete
I
all her channels and stuff after she got canceled?
Oh, no, Lindsay Ellis is someone else. I'm sorry.
Oh, who are you thinking of?
Oh.
I don't know.
Who did Jim
Hold on,
discover?
I can tell you.
Somebody who reviewed stuff in Canada.
A
Plays.
Canadian church plays. Her name is Jenny Nicholson.
Oh,
Yeah, Jenny.
I don't know her.
She's great. Watch
She
that
is
watch
great.
that Canadian church play cinematic universe video.
Oh,
It's
no.
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh no!
It's a really
I
funny.
wonder if they'll
I'll
have
put a link in the
footage
chat.
of that one that I vaguely mention on the show sometimes that I was in, and there are tapes, like hundreds of tapes of it around Canada. So you might
Wow.
one day see me in an ancient VHS performing in a Canadian
That would be
Christian
amazing.
church play. Anyway.
Good stuff.
So, so I do know that there is a guy, and the guy is like, pretends to be a Prince Charming, but he's really a piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I knew that much of the plot. So I wasn't confused.
Yeah. So Anna is dying of ice. Evil guy is trying to kill Elsa. Anna runs in front of his blade and raises her hand, and just as she does, she freezes to ice, shattering his sword. Then, at this point, he turns into a giant wolf, which is a departure from the film.
It does seem to undercut the narrative momentum and the dramatic point of this scene. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the original, but it just seemed like a bit of a left turn.
It's a bit of a stretch. He does turn into a giant wolf, and he's like, he just really wolfs it up. I kind of liked this boss battle. I thought it was
really wolfs it up.
He does.
And Jim likes the lore of him finding his master's blade, and that's what he's using. It's a Dark Souls. Or is that a Bloodborne?
Yeah, you're thinking Sif?
Yes.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
This boss is neat. It looks good. He looked like a big old wolf face, and his butt is smoke.
His butt is smoke. He's a big old wolf, and then at some point during the battle, he decides to, I guess, create a moon? Like a moon made of darkness and goo.
Oh, that's
and
pretty
bring
cool.
it down to the earth.
Oh, that is neat.
And
yeah.
you can use a move to prevent it, and that like puts him on his back or something.
I think you have to, right?
Yeah, I think that's how you kill it in the end, or to get out of there, because you get damaged if you... That was really neat. I thought that was super cool.
It's a fun fight.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best in the game. And after that, he vanishes, and
He's dead. He's dead.
he's
now.
dead. Yeah, I guess he's dead. And then Anna is thawed from her ice form. Why?
Everybody
He does die.
real
I don't remember how
happy.
he dies in that movie, though. How does he die?
Doesn't
Does
he
he
fall
die?
through the ice?
He does die. I remember them.
Does he fall through the ice?
He dies. No, I don't think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe he does.
I
Maybe you're
thought
right.
they
That would
just
make
sent
sense.
him back to his home country or whatever.
I thought he died.
Han's
maybe I'm wrong.
ultimate fate was left somewhat open-ended when the movie finished. He was arrested and sent back to his homeland, where he was going to
Vanessa was
face
right.
some unknown punishment from his older brothers.
Probably
But now he's
so-
dead.
do
It's
extra
canon. He's
chores or
dead.
something. No, it's canon that he's dead.
No, let's be real. So they sent the rich kid back to his rich family? Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet that they really threw the book at him.
He had affluence.
Yeah. He didn't know what he was doing was wrong. Johnny, did you understand why Anna became unfrozen at this point?
Well, they mentioned a million times that love will thaw her heart. A true act of love.
An
And
act of true love, yeah.
and wait, so whose act of true love was it? Was it Anna's act of true love that unthawed her own heart, or was it her sister being like, I love you?
No, I believe it was her own act of true love in
Oh, I like
saving
that.
her sister.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. Well, you and
Frozen's a
Lindsay
good
Ellis
movie, and
can
you should watch it.
fight each other.
No, you watch Frozen, and
Yeah.
then you tell me how you feel. I don't want to know how Lindsay Ellis feels. I want to know
Okay.
how Johnny Brandon feels.
Right.
And you get to see the trolls, and you get to hear Jonathan Goff's great song.
And the guy who plays Hans is also Broadway's own man who I love. And his name, which I can remember because why wouldn't I? He is my one true love, and his name is Santino Fontana.
Santino Fontana?
That's Han's voice actor.
Yes, and he was on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as Greg in the first season.
Oh!
Which one's Hans?
He's,
He's
the,
the
bad
bad guy.
jerk. Yeah, he's the
I
jerk.
thought you guys said that he was played by... No, that was
Jonathan
Christoph.
Goff was Kristoff, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And
It's
I do
two
know old
Broadway
Greg.
stars.
I hated new Greg, but I loved old Greg. Although old Greg
Everyone
was
loves old
terrible.
Greg.
But he was terrible for Rebecca.
Yeah.
They were terrible for each other, really.
I love old Greg. My
Yeah.
true love.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, you can always, I'm sure he's probably married or something, but, you know, divorces happen.
Kidnapping's always an option, Vanessa.
Yeah.
You know?
This podcast will be used as state's evidence.
Listen, what's important is that everyone acknowledge that my love is true and real, and
I will
nothing,
not.
nothing happens that would indicate that I'm anything less than a true fan, like me not.
And
immediately
ladies and
remembering his name.
gentlemen of the jury, if you use the code square roots at manscaped.com, everyone please go do that to help support this podcast and all these other great pieces of evidence that this show will provide you with.
Did you see Johnny's hat? Hey, Jim, did you see John's hat? It's like a safari hat with like it's like a fedora with like
Fedora
a
with
safari
safari
flaps. He's got some. I saw 2 cubes in his pocket.
It's really I'm an unfair person. I'll admit to it, because my dislike of Tim Robinson has nothing to do with Tim Robinson himself. It has to do with the hours and hours of I think you should leave bits that I have been forced to listen to you guys perform. But really, I should be laying the blame with you and not with Tim Robinson. What did he do? He made a TV show that he cared about and wanted to make. You know,
I have great
there's
news,
nothing wrong
Vanessa.
with
Season 3 coming soon.
Oh, I hate Tim Robbins. He must be stopped. Moving on.
Anyway, Larxene shows back up and talks about the new Seven Hearts again. She
Wait,
mocks
who's
I
Sora
like
and
that
calls him a big boy.
Larxine's the lady organization member.
No, there's no Larxene. You're making that up.
There is a Larxene.
No.
I like that I found her
She got
dialogue
the
here
blonde
funny
antennas.
because she makes
You're
fun of
making that
Sora. Sora's like, we'll beat you, and she's like, oh, I'm Sora. I'm a big boy now. It's really funny. But yeah, she says that we need to get our asses in gear and find the other Guardians of Light. She's talking about Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. And then that's the end of Arendelle.
Let it go.
Did you guys enjoy this chunker?
Yeah, I did.
It was all right. Monstropolis was okay, and then Arendelle was. I mean, the level design's not great, but you get that song. Like, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the movie. I have a very fond connection with Frozen, as I had two super young daughters when it came out, and so I watched this movie 1,000 times, and I've seen gone to the sing-along versions, and I've heard it sung
I've
1,000
done
times
that
and listened to
too.
the soundtrack 1,000 times. And I don't know, it's nice and it reminds me of them. And the story about two sisters reminds me of them and makes me very nostalgic and sad. And I cried a little. So it's great. Good, great.
Matthew was touched by
I was
Kingdom
mad
Hearts
about
3.
it, to be honest with you. I was like, why is this affecting me so strongly?
Yeah, I liked Arendelle. I liked it more than you guys seem to as a level design. It was snowy,
didn't have a lot
and
of
so
problems
it was
with it.
kind of like limited, but it was pretty, and
Yeah.
the music.
I liked
was
climbing
like,
the mountain.
Yeah, jingly and fun. And
You get the super double jump here, and that's nice. Now you can double
Yeah.
jump.
You get a lot of navigation things and more air dashes, so you can jump and then
Yeah,
move
longer
yourself
air
forward
dash.
through the air.
Yeah, you can really fly around now. It's ridiculous.
And Monstropolis, it was just way too linear for me. And factories never excite me as far as level design goes.
And also the whole thing
boring
seemed
level.
to be just like a vehicle for remember Birth by Sleep,
Yeah.
because that's all of what it was.
Yeah,
I-
but I don't remember Birth by Sleep.
I do think that this game would have benefited from having like an authentically classic Disney movie level. And I don't know what that could have been.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly going for something here. It's only CGI and I guess real stuff. Like, there's no traditional animation. Well, I guess there's Pooh, but
Well,
they
there's
use
Hercules, too.
Oh, you're right. There's Hercules. I'm wrong.
But
Yeah,
I'm talking like, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
yeah. I know.
They've
Golden
done 'em
Age
all, though.
stuff. They didn't do
They
Snow
didn't do
White.
like Snow White. Snow White would be great. I mean, if you rewatch that movie, it's not.
I've
I
rewatched
mean,
that movie so many
Maleficent
fucking
is
times.
a character in. Maleficent is the bad guy in Snow White, right?
Right. No.
Yeah.
That makes no. Maleficent's
Sleeping
Sleeping Beauty.
Beauty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She
But
calls
the-
upon the power of Lucifer and turns into a black dragon
Yeah.
at the end of the movie. It's metal as fuck.
The background animations for Snow White are gorgeous. Like it would be amazing to have a Kingdom Hearts level in that style. Make it look a little bit more hand drawn
Yeah.
and do that like layered background. It would
What
be
they should
great.
do is let Sora should take a bunch of mushrooms and then he's in Fantasia World and everything's fucking trippy and
He went to
that would be
Fantasia
cool.
in Dream Drop Distance. Bud.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I never played that one.
Yeah, I watched the Oni Black Mage video on it. He goes to Fantasia.
Aw, that's sweet.
And it's like young Mickey. It's the young king.
Nice.
Yeah, fun. I was kind of mad that we didn't play it. Anyway, next time we're going to play Pirates of the Caribbean and San Fransokyo.
Ooh.
2 movies I don't give a shit about.
I liked Big Hero 6. I thought it was fun.
I like Baymax, but other than Baymax, there's nothing in Big Hero 6 that I like.
Not even T.J. Miller.
Yeah, you were in Big Hero 6. Man,
Yeah.
Shut up.
You know, you
aren't
could
supposed to know.
You could probably get hired by Kingdom Hearts to do more T.J. Miller voiceovers.
I think he's doing the voice.
Oh, that's why he sounds like Matthew and is always vaping.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys think of these next two worlds. Cause
Are you going to ask me questions like what I'm squarely?
oh,
against,
John,
or-
how'd you? Yeah,
haven't gotten
how
to
did
that
you?
yet.
we haven't even got to that, John.
We were just talking.
We kind of lightly
I thought that's
reflected on
what
the
you-
chunker, but
Oh, okay. So
no.
then let's talk about my bullshit minigame corner.
Yeah, let's do it.
I swore you were doing the squarely against. That's what it sounded like. All right, so there were
You've got
three
a pal I know.
sort of match 5 games. They're a bit like Zuma, or what was the game before Zuma? There's like an old like
Peggle.
peg. No,
I know this as Fairy Bubbles, which was one of the games on the Neopets website.
Ah, yeah, it's like one of those games
Zuma,
where you're
wasn't there one that was a frog?
hexic frog fractions. No, but
Frog fractions.
it's a match 5 game, and you have to get them before they hit the bottom. And in different levels, you have different characters helping you, like Vanessa's favorite, the Heffalump, or Tigger, or the Gopher.
Does it have a name, this thing?
Lumpy.
Lumpy.
Oh, that's awful. That's even
a Star
worse.
Wars
No wonder I hated
holiday
it.
special.
Oh boy!
name.
Why don't you find the voice actor on Twitter and harass him until they quit?
Yeah.
Wow!
That was such an unnecessary attack on Vanessa. I apologize.
Yeah. That's totally my style too. So
You're right. She wants to slide into his DMs.
yeah, I just
Talk
wanna
to me
be
in
like,
that weird British
talk to me in
accent
your
that doesn't
weird
quite
little
sound right.
British governor boy.
Your
accent.
weird little governor boy voice. It's so bad.
Whisper in my ear. Oh, I'd love to bounce, Tigger. Will you bounce with me, Vanessa?
See, I think that I didn't see the Pooh's Heffalump movie. I don't know if it was animated, but I think it was CGI.
No way.
There was a Pooh show that was CGI for sure.
Yeah,
on
there was a little kid
Disney.
show.
That's what these designs look like. They look like the little kid show designs.
They do.
I think that's why Sora looks so exasperated. Pooh's
Fuck this.
regressed to like Dora the Explorer level, like, you know, like John was saying earlier, like, look at what you did. You can do it. Put the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Ah.
Wasn't there like a digital Winnie the Pooh that was in that Christopher Robin movie with Ewan McGregor?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see
Yeah, me either.
Did he and Paddington fight?
that. Or did they fuck?
Yes.
Would they be able? I don't see why not. Although Paddington is a real bear, he's not a stuffed bear, right?
Yeah.
I think Pooh and Corduroy would be a more likely couple.
Yeah, you're right.
Paddington's like
I
a
tend to
real
get-
bear.
I tend to get those
Yeah.
Corduroy and Paddington confused. Paddington is a real bear.
Okay. So
Who the fuck is Corduroy?
and
He's a
Ewan
stuffed
McGregor's
bear.
in both of
About.
them.
Corduroy is a stuffed bear who loses his button.
He lives in a department store, and then at the end, a nice girl adopts him.
I
That's very
played that
sweet.
taxi game. I played. Oh, there's another. I'm trying to think of any of the little classic Kingdom ones I played. I definitely played a couple more, but they were not super memorable. Oh, there was one that was like a track and field against Mickey. That one sucked.
I feel like there's too many of these. Like, this is a good
Yeah, there's
idea
a
for
bunch
like
of 'em.
There's like 16 of them,
Yeah.
and the best one's the taxi one so far for sure. Because there's the hungry giant at the table.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's fine. The track and field one was not great. There's another one, but I'm forgetting what it was. Anyway, but they're still cute. They are a fun little minigame addition. I also played some more of Cooking with Ratatouille, And it gets harder. I'm not good at these. And then if you can only do them once per ingredient, so if you burn your ingredients up, you have to like get more before you can try these again. So I did fail a few of these.
Do you waste an ingredient like every time you don't get a good or an excellent?
Yes.
I hate that. Like I could see it like because when I have some trouble with the flambe one, and so whenever I do that and I burn it, I lose an ingredient. But I didn't think I was losing them if I just like didn't do it in time. Like when it says like time run out, but you still lose the ingredient. That sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I have trouble with the salt and pepper one for some reason.
Yeah, I fuck that one up sometimes because it's long. There's like you have to do it 5 times sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the onion, the vegetable cutting one, you can't fuck up
easy.
almost.
It's very, very easy.
I don't think I've never ever not gotten an excellent. I don't know how you don't get an excellent.
Can I talk about the flan again?
Yeah,
because
sure.
I did a few of these. The first flan that I found was in Olympus, and it has you doing the like shield. You know, how you like fly around on the shield.
Sled.
Yeah, to do that around Thebes and run into other flans, and you
It's
have
the
to
same
get at
part
least
of Thebes that was
20,000.
on fire.
You
when
go through like the
first
whole
went
thing.
through it.
You go through like the whole thing. You go out into the square and bounce around and do all that stuff. But you have to get at least 20,000 points. That's pretty consistent across all these. Is to get like the best reward, you need to get at least 20,000 points.
What's the best reward?
For the Olympus one, it's like blood or a melon or something like that. And sometimes you get like a new ability. Sometimes you get like a piece of equipment or something.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've only gotten the fruit. I've never gotten.
So yeah, I maxed out that one, and then I went to the one in Corona where you have to take pictures of the flans. Like there's a bunch of flans out in the clearing, and they're all doing different stuff, and you have to take the best picture possible of them.
Pokemon Snap.
And I got an excellent photo on every single one, and still did not get the max prize. That was very frustrating to me. Yeah, I took 7 excellent photos of these stupid fucking flan. It took me like 30 minutes, and I didn't get it.
Is it because you spent too much time? Maybe.
No, it's not timed. So maybe
there's a
there's
secret
like a certain ones are worth more. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it again. So, but there's that one, and then I did the one in the Caribbean, which involves shooting cannons in Port Royal at flan that are making their way towards the port.
Astro Blaster.
Yes, I did that one. I thought that one was fun. And then I did the Big Hero 6 one that we'll see next week, where there's flan on top of buildings, and you have to jump on all of them only once, or else they'll eat you. And then if you jump on a glowing one, it shoots you to another building where you have to do it again, and then you just keep going until I guess you fail. And I didn't like that one. That's my flan experience. So far. There's 7 of them, so I think I've done 4.
Jim's bullshit flan corner.
How do you feel about flan IRL, Jim?
What is it?
It's like a pudding. It's like a pot pudding.
No, I don't know that I've ever had flan.
But like shaped like a... Anywho, is that what you're squarely against? Are you squarely against flan?
No, I'm squarely against the Frozen world. It was not fun to play. I thought the Heartless looked cool. I like the reindeer Heartless and the big Minotaur looking Heartless guys, but
those were from
Olympus. Yeah, but I like that they showed up here. But I didn't think this one was very, very fun. What about you, John? What are you squarely against?
I am squarely against the level design of these 2 levels. I thought it was bad, especially after Corona being so good. And even Toy Story, I liked the whole Toy Store area in Toy Story a lot. These 2 worlds were bad.
Do you think the rest of the game's going to be like this? Are the levels going to continue
I
to
don't
be
know.
kind of shitty?
I know Vanessa likes Pirate World, so I'm looking forward to
Pirate
that.
World, it kind of kicks ass.
That one,
Yeah.
like, you can kind of see, though, like, these ones that they had more time with, like Tangled and Toy Story and Pirates, that they could spend more time on, and then, like, San Fransokyo and Arendelle are kind of shitty.
Pirate World looks badass.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It plays great. It's huge. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm squarely against the fact that we're probably going to end up talking about Johnny Depp next week, and I don't want to talk about that guy. He sucks. Fuck that guy. Garbage.
Let's see. No emails this week, so I guess that leads
Excuse
us
me.
to
Excuse me. Hello.
what?
Hello.
Oh, Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
Rail sliding. Actually, there's a rail sliding mechanic in this game. They force it into different situations, and it's not particularly fun or interesting.
It's very jarring when it happens too.
Yeah, it happens, and then Sora's like sliding on a rail, and it kind of goes into like a third-person shooter sort of experience.
But with a terrible reticle that always
Yeah, the reticle's awful.
jerks back to the center for some reason. It's awful.
Yeah.
And then it wants you to do like different tricks depending on where you are on the
Oh, really?
rail. Sometimes,
done
like in Monster
Oh, yeah.
World, it's like
yeah, you got to get underneath.
swing
you're right.
underneath
Yeah.
and hide behind a door or jump to a different rail or something. And it's just like, there's no, it doesn't add any
Bad.
quality to my experience, I would say.
They're just trying to break the levels up, but this is not a good addition.
No.
Unlike running up walls, which I tend to find fucking super fun. Why
Love
is
it.
that so entertaining? Running up huge walls.
It's
Jumping
just
between
hilarious.
huge walls. It's fucking fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we
We
can talk about our
have-
Patreon.
A Patreon. If you're
Yeah.
a big Patreon fan, we announced the new bonus episode. Jim and I are very excited. John and Vanessa in opposed. They have tried to object, but
It'll be fine.
the court ruled in Beyond Two Souls' favor.
Just
I
remember-
tried
Short.
it-
It's 10 hours. I looked into it. It's 10 hours.
I mean,
That's
I've
easy.
finished this game before, Matt. I know what
As
I'm
have
getting
I.
into. And you know
I
what?
forgot fucking Willem Dafoe is in that
Just
game.
remember,
Oh, man.
you can leave any situation. Not any situation. There's a lot of situations in this game you can just walk out of, and it's important to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And you should, because
Yes.
walk out of this game as soon as you can.
Yes.
But I want to hear about the Two
Oh,
Souls.
no, I just... sorry, I just remembered something that happens in that game. Ugh,
No spoilers, please. I'm going in. Baby fresh eyes.
yeah.
All I know is that by the end of it, I think that I will be enraged at Elliot Page.
Yeah, and you'll make memes saying, like, look what they took from us.
Look what they took from us. And then I'll be screaming about cancel culture. Anyway, we have a Patreon.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We announced the next bonus episode, which is Beyond Two Souls.
job.
If you're a subscriber to the Patreon at least the $3 level, you get access to all that sweet content. In June, we played Indigo Prophecy, our second David Cage game we played for the show.
What was the
and that
first
was
one?
fun.
Oh, we did Detroit.
Yeah. And at the $5 level, you get access to all that sweet content, plus the ability to vote on the games that we play. Currently in 2022, it's up to you, where all of our mainline Square Roots games are vote winners. So if you'd like that ability, please subscribe at the $5 level. If you'd like to become a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. And one thing that we try to do for our patrons is to actually thank them by name on the show. So we usually pick a few names and decide to thank our patrons. I will kick us off this week by thanking Wawa Weewa, Tracy, William Westgard, Wedgecoon, Mostly Rational Person, Chief Hazard built Matthew Van Zant a hot dog bed.
Yay!
Oh, you don't have the right. Saving Sid, Vanessa for President, Vanessa's Gold Taco Bell PS5, Grayson, and Do Good Recklessly.
Now I
John.
will go.
Oh.
No, it's me. I would like to thank Ari Copavara, Anthony Cruz, CharityWater.org, Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is, drumroll, Grey Code, Isaac Wright, Justin Rash, Matt Newland, Alexander Jokic, Aaron Zelda 2 is underrated little, My Battery is Low, and Hexagon.
I'd like to thank Armin Hammer, Hudson Roth, Andy Smith, Lex Averial, Amanda Douglas, Christian Go, Sergeant Spaghetti, Chris Ryan. Give Legend of Dragoon the Vampire the Masquerade treatment and play it even though it lost. We can't. It's 2022. It's up to you. Matthew Casterline, Stephen Patchett, and Paul Bursch.
I'd like to thank Joseph, Wash in the Wind, Andy M., Froxdong, Michael Crawford. This is an emoji.
Emoticon.
Yeah, I think Vanessa pronounced it as like,
Mary Queen of Scoffs, D. Jethro, Ron, Sean Gonzalez, Johnny's Pete Impression,
Oh, thank
Dr.
you.
Fine Say
Thanks
Everyone's
to have
Name,
some support.
Teen Wolfhard Bumpkins, and Kingdom Hearts 3. I've never felt so smooth.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email to have read on the air, our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Please, come on, give us a little rate. Make it seem like a good podcast. And then once again, steal your friends' phones and subscribe to our show on their phones. Also, thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
And I'm Vanessa.
Okay, bye.
Ooh, we had a nice
did it.
harmony there for a
We
second. It was
did it.
good.